Bada boom, bada bang, bada. I'm speechless. I am honestly speechless. Look at that. This thing is shining full of gold. And if you want a shoe shining full of gold, or that will have you smiling like you've reached a pot of gold, you're probably going to want to go to Carbon County. And if you want to go to Carbon County and get your first pair of race shoes, or maybe your 17th pair of race shoes at an affordable price, make sure you're on the Supwell app. Here's the thing, if you're interested in the culture of running shoes, if you're interested in getting access to the new releases, getting notified when things go on sale at different websites, and oh, this size is here, this size is there, make sure you're on the Supwell app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace, so you can get crazy deals on new race shoes, but it's also the best community. If you're interested in shoes, you gotta be there because you'll get put on game. People find great deals, people find great availability, and then they post it on the app and they pass it along. So that's the spirit of the Supwell app. Best hobby jogger community out there. Best place for sickos who want to put in the work and get better daily. Happy birthday, Mom. Enjoy today's video. It's that old feeling. It's that old feeling when you see that big brown truck pulling up. You already know it's going to be a box full of Piva. I just gotten excited. Yeah, because my package came.
What is it?
Tracksmith.
Oh, it's the racer?
Yeah.
No. They sent it to you?
What do you think?
What?
Must have a lot of packages. Hopefully it's for me. The only thing that can match the low of seeing a cop car pull up outside your house is the high of seeing some stack getting unloaded off the back of a UPS truck. Oh no, that's not me. Oh! Oh, dude! If that's for... Oh, I do see Tracksmith, but I wonder if that's the other thing too.
Oh, wow. That would be cool.
Or is that for Neighbors?
Would you prefer me? No, it doesn't look like it. No.
Bob!
It's the guy. It's the thing.
Yeah, fire.
And it looks like you have another package too.
Oh, bro, we got racks. Good. I appreciate you pushing that up the hill. Getting those miles in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, one of them is shoes, and then this is a big stroller thing.
Okay.
All right, cool. I can take all these. And that, yeah, you can just leave that right there.
I got you guys. I'll set it up.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Oh, okay.
You're going to be famous now.
Yeah. Yeah. Putting in work. Finally get to retire the old jogging stroller.
It wasn't even new to us.
2-seat XL cargo basket with 10 storage pockets.
And a snack tray, bro.
Hey, this is gonna be fire, dude.
I'm going to be able to run a marathon with a snack tray.
Should I do my long run tomorrow with it? Try to run threshold
3
pace?
hours with running.
Yeah, I could. It would just be slow.
Running 5:30.
Yeah, no, not 5:30. Yeah, you just gotta adjust. It'll be running 5:50s.
Who's got to adjust her to running with the flash?
Yeah. Alright, well, shout out Bob. Took an L on 3 bills on the shoes, but that's a come up on the stroller. Yeah, 3 bills is better than 3 racks. That's like 2 racks right there.
You
All
know,
right. Thanks, Bob.
Bang, as they say.
Bang. Shout out Bob, look at this thing. This is like a Cadillac. This is like an Escalade V. Look at this thing. Ah, dude. Walk test. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can push it. Bro, that's elite. Bang, bro. Shut up, Bob. This thing is legit, bro. And they gave us the murder pack one, all blacked out. That's probably not what they call it. This is perfect. I should take him for a walk. In my Tracksmith. How's the ride? To clip it down.
Oh look, this is ours. Here, I can make this tighter for you, buddy.
No, it's
I mean, not tighter, but just
Daddy, watch this. Watch. Okay, ready? Daddy, I'm gonna land on the line. Ready?
Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
That was pretty good.
Well, I'm gonna go. You're gonna see me land up on the line.
okay, go.
A walk test with the Bob. Oh, she's not? Weren't you just walking around with her?
Huh?
Weren't you just walking around with her?
Oh, I don't know if you're like taking her.
No. This is a big upgrade, man. Look at this thing. We've completely worn this guy down. It's still going. I wouldn't say it's still going strong, but it is still going. These Bob strollers are durable. This is the logo from, I don't know, 2014 maybe. We got this in 2019, and I've put hundreds, if not thousands, of miles on this. We've probably put thousands of walking miles on it. It's still going strong. It's just, it's definitely worn. It's long in the tooth. The suspension, it's just not as smooth as it used to be. This new one, just switching into this, is so smooth. So big shout out to Bob. Thank you to Bob for hooking it up. I don't use the founder and CEO card very often, but I hit them up. I said, I'm the founder and CEO of Supwell Running. I have one of your strollers. I've been using it, show it on the channel. I would love to get an upgrade if you guys could send me one. And they hooked it up. So we're going to put a lot of good family miles on this thing. Shout out to Bob. They make great stuff. This thing is a complete tank. And we're going to get very many good miles in the new Revolution. What is it called? Revolution Flex. Because you got a flex on them. Show them how strong your seat is. We got two. Who you calling low T? Nothing small about that sperm count. Hey. Oh, yeah. Nice spoon holder courtesy of Abby Designs. Handmade spoon holder. It's fire. It's looking like a thick stack. Pre-long run dinner, courtesy of Supwell Kitchen. This thing is a complete banger. We got the tabbouleh rice with the olives and the tomatoes. We have hummus, falafel, sweet potatoes with cauliflower, roasted, and then the piatierito. This is the homemade sourdough naan. Complete banger. All right, man. Let's get to it. Tracksmith race shoe. This is the Eliot Racer. Highly anticipated, moderately debated, potentially gold plated out of Tracksmith, New England. A lot of people don't know this. I'm originally from New England, but people are starting to know it because I've been saying it. Lowell, Massachusetts. So this thing should be a cool shoe, man. It is Tracksmith's race shoe. They're a cool brand. I'm a fan of the brand. They did not send me this. I bought it with my own money. They might have sent me it if I asked them to, because they've sent me stuff in the past, but I just wanted to buy it because they had that whole event where they had everyone dripped out in Tracksmith gear, and I said, you know what? There's probably not going to be a lot of people who buy this shoe with their own money and review it, so why don't I be that person? We got to fill that gap. So this is Tracksmith's daily trainer right here, the Tracksmith Eliot Runner, and it is a looker. All of Tracksmith stuff has this preppy New England classic aesthetic. The colorway on this is sick. It's so nice. This maroon, it's like an art piece. They have this gray gum sole. Such a high attention to detail on all their stuff. And the key here, what they did that's different in the Eliot Runner, my guy Brent James, he was the designer who worked on this shoe. He actually did this. They have a removable insole. Now, since the Eliot Runner has come out, we've seen this removable insole concept on another shoe, one of the shoes that's actually one of my favorites. This is a top 5 race shoe right now. This is the On Cloudboom Strike. And if you look inside here, bada boom, bada bang, they also have this drop-in insole. Now, unless the insole is going to be replaceable, there's no real purpose or function to having it come out of this shoe like that. It's essentially just having a top layer of foam without the sock liner that you'd get in another shoe. In the Eliot Racer, I have heard that they're going to be making replacement insoles, which should potentially increase the durability of the shoe. But this is a marathon shoe. This is designed to be an elite, or at least a fast marathon shoe. I haven't heard anything about it. I actually don't know if they're positioning it more as a fast elite shoe or an everyman's running shoe, a hobby jogger shoe. It's $280, so same exact price as that On Cloudboom Strike. Just about as expensive as Hoka Cielo and Nike Alpha Fly. Let us see. Oh, by the way, before I open this, I'm setting the over-under at number of unnecessary packaging items at 4.5. 4.5. So before we open it, I'll give you a few seconds here. Put in your bets. Are you going over or under? 4.5 unnecessary packaging items. Type it in. Put it. Don't read anybody else's. Let's see. Bada boom. Okay. Right out of the gates here, we got a sticker. That's one. This is not unnecessary. This is the receipt. This is necessary. It came pretty quickly, by the way, too. Interestingly, on the receipt, it says UPS Canada. That's crazy, right? All right. Let's see. Unnecessary packaging items. No, this is necessary, but this is also really sick. I love when they do stuff like this. It's a New England back road right here. This is why I love Tracksmith, the brand, the storytelling. It's so good. New England back road that goes all throughout the inside of the box. It's an autumn type of forest situation. I guess that does count as unnecessary. I don't know. All right, this is the pièce de résistance. We have a nice cream-colored box here. It says Tracksmith Eliot Racer. I guess it's unisex sizing. 10.5 men's, 12 women's. I don't want to rip anything too much. Ooh, we got some more of this nice New England vibe here. And by the way, the first shoe that I ever reviewed on YouTube was a Tracksmith shoe. It was the Tracksmith Eliot Runner. It was another pair of the Eliot Runners. It was a white Eliot Runner with a blue stripe. All right, ready? Moment of truth. Bada boom. Bada bang. Bro, these are 100% gold plated. Oh my gosh. Dude, can you imagine? This is like an Alpha Fly. So I love how this looks. Let me say, first of all, straight up, I love how this looks. This looks so good. But can you imagine actually showing up to a race wearing this? Personally, I could not. And I've come to races dripped out in full Tracksmith. If you look at my Instagram, I have this picture of my first marathon. I was wearing a full Tracksmith kit. It's this blue Tracksmith shorts, the blue Tracksmith shirt, just a gold sash down the shoe. Oh man, this might be tied with the Nike Alpha Fly, the Flames Alpha Fly for the showiest race shoe of 2025. That's just crazy. Oh gosh, what the heck? There's stuff flying out everywhere. Got a bunch of stuff inside here. So there weren't as many unnecessary packaging items as I anticipated. There were only 2, the sticker and then the extra box. But in my hand, this feels light. Let's see, let's inspect it. The upper has an interesting material here. It doesn't quite seem like a normal engineered mesh. And the back has this collar material. It's almost a canvas. Do you see this? This is some sort of a canvas-like material with some padding, and there's a suede heel collar around here. Let me open this up. Let's see if we can take out the insole. Race day is sacred, the insole says, and then there's an entire poem. Should I read the poem? I think I have to read the poem. Training doesn't happen in a vacuum. We push our limits in workouts because we know that the race will test them even more. Race day is sacred. It's the ultimate expression of a runner's faith. Oh wow, they're going with the religious undertones. That's a bold move. Teeing the line tests our belief in the work we've done, in the speed we've summoned, in the toughness of our minds. Ultimately, we race because we believe that the physical and mental demands of racing lead to a richer and more thrilling life. Chasing personal records keeps us hungry and humble. It makes us better human beings. Wow, they went for the better human beings. Spitting bars out here. At every level, the pursuit of a personal record is running at its best. Man, they went in on that one. They really went in. Actually, before I put this on, let's do a comparison to the Cloudboom Strike here. So 2 shoes with similar design philosophies when it comes to the function. The aesthetic is different though. The Cloudboom is more, I was going to say ostentatious. This one has a gold stripe, so they're both showy, but the Tracksmith is going for a more classic look, while the Cloudboom has this modern tech-forward look. And feeling them, the Tracksmith liner feels super light. You're getting a lot of stack here, but it is very light. Let me get my tool. Let's see. So I have the calipers out here. Now this is the biggest unique part of these shoes, or of this shoe. So in the forefoot here, at the thickest part, this insole is 23 millimeters tall. Let's see with the Cloudboom, just about the same, 22, 23. Then in the back, the Cloudboom Strike insole, 10 to 11 millimeters tall. And then the Tracksmith is thicker in the back. By a few millimeters. So it should have a more cushioned feel in the back above the plate. I've got to say though, the Cloudboom is one of the softest, bounciest race shoes out there. There's this great post on the app tonight by my guy Ray. He said he posted this video about how his preferences have changed over time, over the past year or so, and he doesn't love the soft shoes for running fast anymore. I agree. This is the only one, Cloudboom Strike, really of the latest batch of shoes that I've enjoyed that's soft. Everything else has just been getting too soft. So that's going to be my biggest question tomorrow morning for our workout. Is this Eliot Racer going to be too soft? It has the carbon fiber plate. Somebody told me, yeah. So my guy Jared was texting me about this and said this is the most flexible carbon shoe he's ever felt. So look at that. This is making me feel like this is not designed to be an elite marathon shoe if the carbon is that flexible. Let's see compared to the Cloudboom Strike. Because the purpose of you get some flex up there, but definitely more in the Eliot Run. And that doesn't tell us really anything about how it runs other than that it doesn't have the most stiff plate. It doesn't have the stiffest plate in there. Potentially means it could be more comfort oriented, but that also worries me with the toe off. Are we going to have enough rigidity up here to run fast? But it's also going to come down to the foam. So this is a PIBA. I believe it's a supercritical PIBA on the bottom here. Let me check. Yeah, bottom is PIBA. They say P-Bax. That's just the brand name for PIBA. And then they're saying this is an ATPU. The other ATPU I know is in the Puma shoe, which is one of my favorite. It's tied with the Alpha Fly right now. I'm going to do head-to-head, but the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, that has an aliphatic TPU, ATPU. So this is the same material as my favorite race shoe. Potentially could be a banger. That's a banger material, right? PIBA on the bottom with the carbon fiber plate, and then the Puma Nitro top layer. That could be fire. And there's a little bit of a cutout in the middle here. I know everyone was freaking out about, let's see. Yeah, everyone was freaking out about the Cielo having the cutout on the inside. This looks very mild and moderate in comparison to the cutout on the Cielo. We also get a lot of rubber on the bottom. I am happy with that, especially for $200. And the fact that they're going to start selling these replacement insoles drop-ins does look like they've made an effort to have this be actually durable, not just have the guise of durability. This is one of the thickest rubber layers I have seen on a race shoe recently. And the Eliot Runner also had decent durability. I took that up to, I have a different pair. Where's the first pair I had? Yeah, I have this red pair, but I also have a white pair. I put about 200 running miles on it, maybe 180 to 220, something in there, with a ton of casual use, and that one's holding up pretty well. The back here has gotten rubbed down, but still in good shape. I can grab it tomorrow if I remember. So Eliot Racer, man, good looking shoe. All the materials are put together well. This is a very high build quality shoe. The stitching is on point. The glue is on point. The sewing is on point. The laces look like they're on point. The materials are there. You get the PIBA with the carbon fiber plate and the ATPU drop-in. Let's put it through the lab and see how it compares to some of these other guys, though. Let's start with a fun one. Let's start with the insole. Right side insole of the Tracksmith Eliot Racer, 33.9 grams. Let's see how that compares to the Cloudboom Strike, ATPU versus PIBA. Cloudboom Strike insole, 44.2 grams. All right, let's throw the insole back inside. And then let's get a full shoe comparison. This feels decently light, man. The specs of this feel on par with everything else. Yeah, this feels pretty light. My guess is 230. Yep, right there, 237.0. So for some context, the On Cloudboom Strike in my size, let's throw the other one that has the insole in my size is 224.5 grams. One of my favorite shoes. Let's grab my other two favorite shoes right now. All right, these are the two top dogs for me. We got the Fire Flames Alpha Fly coming in at 223, and then the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. This guy's coming in at 214 grams. So the Eliot Racer is 20 grams heavier than the Puma, but only 10 grams heavier than the Alpha Fly and the Cloudboom Strike. It's not breaking any scientific laws with the weight, but it's also not a brick. It's not a beluga whale or anything. For comparison, on the other end of the spectrum, Asics S4 Plus Yogiity, which is a 4-hour race shoe that has more of a standard training foam on the bottom, which will add weight. This comes in at 259 grams. And then the heaviest legit race shoe of the past few years, Cielo X-1 OG. This thing comes in at 271 grams. So Tracksmith Eliot Racer right up there, right on par with industry standard in my size. Let's get a QA check. Boom. 239 on the left side versus 237 on the right side. That's pretty good. So, man, so far the shoe is well put together. It looks good, and the materials seem good. It's not gonna, again, it's not breaking any records with the weight, but it looks competitive. It's light enough where what will really matter is the ride and the stack, of course. Let's check the stack. So what's interesting is on Tracksmith's website, they actually list this as 38 millimeters in the back, which is curious, right? Why wouldn't they want to make this, especially given the weight, why wouldn't they want to make it max stack? If it's a marathon shoe, it's not going to be the lightest weight out there, but let's see. Comes in at 39.14 on the left, so accurate to what they're saying. If they're going measurements on a size 9 men's, because this is a size 10.5. Let's see, right side here. Ooh. Ooh. Right side is coming in at 36. I don't know why it would be so much lower. I took 2 measurements, just thought maybe the first one I had some sort of a measurement error or something. It's even lower now. What the heck? Yeah, the right side is coming in at 35, 36. So the weight wasn't a huge difference. There's only 2 millimeter or 2 gram weight difference, but the right one is coming in so much lower. I don't know if it's the insole or the foam. We'll just keep an eye on that tomorrow. I'm going to guess I'm not going to be able to feel anything out on the ride, but that's one of the first weird things to happen. But there we go. Those are the lab measurements and overview of the Eliot Racer. I have a big workout tomorrow. We'll see how this thing does. I only have confidence in a handful of shoes to run these hard workouts, but this new crop is releasing. We got the Vaporfly 4 that's released. This is released. The Cielo released. So I got to put them all through the paces and find if any of them will rise to the top. But so far, it's been my old favorites from last year that are really hanging in there, that I'm reaching for any day where I know I need that extra speed assistance. It's Alphafly, it's Deviate Nitro Elite 3, it's Edge Paris or Sky Paris. I don't love them for the feel, but the performance of those is great. Even Saucony Endorphin Elite. I did a treadmill marathon or treadmill workout last week. It felt like a marathon. It was 22 miles with 14 miles at a marathon pace or faster. So I've been beasting out some pretty solid efforts, but in the shoes that released last year. So that's my main thing. Can the Tracksmith Eliot Racer crack the list? Is this a contender for a legit shoe? Or does it just look pretty? It really does look awesome. But can this thing sing? No auto-tune. Hold on, one more thing. I'm trying to get ahead on some work, so I'm still up 9:43, but this is the secret. This is the secret to good workouts right here. Leftover birthday cake. Cake and carbon. That's all you need. I'll see you in the morning. At 6:30 a.m. I'm going to make some coffee. Have some brekkie. Then we can get out there. So there's been something that I've wanted to say. Something that I wanted to say, and that is thank you. I want to thank everybody because now, whenever one of these new shoes releases, well, not only do we immediately hear about it on the Supwell app, but I'm able to buy and test anything and everything that you guys want because you've been supporting for so long. The business is growing. We got people on the app. Everybody's watching the channel, so that means I don't have to rely on the brand. And that's even cooler to me, to know that when something drops, I can just buy it. That was what happens with this. It dropped and I immediately bought it. So I appreciate everyone who supports. That means we can continue to test things, not have to rely on the brands to send this stuff. And we're continuing to grow the business, man. But it's been 2 years of straight grinding every single day to get to this point, and now it's just getting to the point where I have some money to work with and I can invest in making things better and test everything and immediately get the shoes. So everything takes time, man, and it's a far way off from where I want it to eventually be, and I'm still working my full-time job. But guess what? That's part of the process, baby. So we put in the work daily and we build it up until it's a beast. So I appreciate you, man. That's my philosophy with this all. Keep consistent, keep grinding, and those big days will come. And I should let you guys know this too. I actually just signed a deal, my first big brand sponsorship. And again, because I've been consistently putting in the work and you all have been supporting. So it's huge to me. It's not always clear when you get these moments of success, and this is what I've tried to say along the way. Celebrate these little things. So I appreciate you all, man. Yeah, and with the sponsorship, bro, again, that's going to allow me to do more, invest in building up the business, invest in making the app better, invest in making the channel better without having to take any money or partner with any shoe brands. That's my stand here. I don't work with the brands. If they want to send me stuff, if they want to reach out and send me shoes, that's fine. But other than that, there's other companies who work with the brands, and I have nothing against somebody else doing it. It's just for me, I want to be it's hard to say objective because everything is subjective. We all have our biases, but I want to be a place where at least my line is I do not want to take money from the brands whose products I test. That's my personal line. I was raised on Consumer Reports, and my first few jobs were doing product reviews, so that's how I approach it. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say I appreciate you all. Take a minute to say that. And we also got a new stroller, which is fire, because things are growing, so it's getting recognized. But man, it takes time. 2 years, legit 2 years of straight grinding every single day. I've worked on Supwell every single day for 2 years. So if you're trying to start your own business or do your own thing, everyone's timeline is different, but just know it takes a lot of consistent work. And it's not like every day I've been working 13-hour days. It's every day doing at least 10 to 20 minutes. That's really all it is. At least 10 to 20 minutes every day. But here's the hard thing. That means on Christmas. That means on your birthday. That means if a family member is in the hospital. That means if you're not feeling good. Literally every single day. But if you can do a minimum of 10 to 20 minutes on whatever you're building every day, you will get somewhere, man. But that's the hard thing. Can you commit to do that every day for 2 years? It's like running too. You don't need to run 20 miles every day. But if you can run 20 minutes every day for 2 years, or most days, I don't like doing run streaks, but if you can run 20 minutes 6 out of 7 days of the week for 2 years, you will get faster, and your overall health will improve. So manageable amount daily. And then some days, of course, I am grinding out 13, 15-hour days. And usually I'm working a lot more than 20 minutes a day on this. But bare minimum, man, every day putting in the work and is growing. So I appreciate you guys. And I also want to say that to reflect back to people who are working on something. It takes time, and it's going to take even way more time to get this to a place where it's a comfortable business and I can do this
full time eventually, and it's also about figuring out what are the right revenue streams, because it's really hard to build a business that's just off of shoe reviews, or mainly off of shoe reviews, which is why it's so impressive to me what Thomas has done at Believe in the Run, because it's not easy. There's not a lot of money in shoe reviews, so it takes time to build these things up, but just got to appreciate these moments along the way. So thank you to everyone for ordering the merch. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging with it. We're going to build this thing into a beast. Alrighty, workout for this morning. We've got a 22-mile threshold sandwich. That's a 2-mile warm-up, 4 miles at threshold pace, 10 miles relaxed, and then 2 by 2 miles at threshold pace. So that's 8 total miles of threshold work separated by a 10-mile relaxed segment, and then we cool down to 22. So that's pretty beast. I hit this workout earlier this week, the gauntlet workout. Most of these thresholds in the 520s and 30s. So I went 529, 22, 23, 24. On the first set of 4, I went 23, 33, 46. On the second set of 4, that is 529, 33, 46. Or on the second set of 3, I was running straight into the wind on that 46. And then 30, 28 on the 2-mile set, and then 25 on the 1 mile. So today, that was in the Alpha Fly too, and it was within a shorter run. Today, again, if I can be 5:35 or faster, that would be good for these, especially those ladder reps here. They get tough at the end, but man, this is a really good workout. 8 miles of threshold pace inside of a long run. That's why these Jack Daniels workouts are so beast, man. But the thing is with these, for me, I had to get comfortable even going 20 miles before I could think about doing a workout like this. So you build up the volume and then you start adding in that intensity. And this is going to be some intensity this morning. Gosh dang. All right, breakfast. Snap cut magic, as they say. Ready? I'm actually going to do the snap cut magic this time. Bang. Bang. Some bread, bro. Some peanut butter, bro. That's some peanut butter. Bang. Let me finish it off with that pure local honey. Not government inspected. Look at that, bro. That is a good breakfast right there. The Dakota bread from Great Harvest with the peanut butter and the local raw honey. Fire.
Come on, where's the truck?
in the sun. This gold stripe. Woo! These are beyond clean. I was on the Tracksmith website last night, and they had all these different excerpts from reviewers and testers and what they said about the shoe. I really want them to put my excerpt on there. They can say, Ioana from Supwell said, we were spitting bars on the bottom of that insole. He said, these are beyond clean, bro. You hear that? Bro, this is something that happened with the Cloudboom as well. Hold on, put the mic on the ground so you can really hear this. We'll see if that goes away or not, but that squeaking, I forgot about that, man. That was one of the things with the Cloudboom Strike that was super annoying. Because the insole or the top layer of foam is just right on top of the plate and not glued down and not attached to the build of the shoe, creates a lot of squeaking. So that's the first demerit. I guess second demerit, because if you remember last night, the right side was 3 millimeters lower than the left side. Let's see if that's still the case or if we can feel it out here. By the way, fit is perfect. Length, size. It's hard to get these things on. I had to fight to get them on. The upper is fine. Yeah, it kind of feels like a Converse upper. You know when you put on a Converse and it has that higher top feel and it's built of this fabric material? That's what this feels like. It feels like I just put on a Chuck Taylor. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa. All right, walk test. Okay, few things here. Super comfortable. This is an amazingly comfortable midsole. Reminds me a lot of that Cloudboom Strike, which was one of the most comfortable shoes. Not super, it is soft, but it's not super squishy. It's not like that Endorphin Elite where you sink into it. It's not even, or the Endorphin Elite 2. It's not even like a Zoom X. It's just perfectly tuned comfort. Now, concerning thing here, I can feel the lowness. 3-4 millimeter difference is significant, and I can feel that in the back of the right side here. Maybe it's placebo, but I don't think so, because oftentimes I'll do these measurements and I'll say this one's different, and then I get out here and I don't feel it. I can feel that I'm lower to the ground on the right side here. Also, I'm noticing a few other build quality issues here. Let's look at this. I don't know, I'm just noticing this now. Can you see this? The front side of this, the toe box here, the stitching is all jacked up. Do you see that? There's weird vertical stitches that are coming out. Whereas on the right side, it's perfect. Look at the rounding stitching on the right side. Perfect here. Left side, jacked up. So of course this is going to be an early release model, but it seems like there's some weirdness with it. Yeah, this is not good. That combined with the lowness, and it feels like my heel is lower down, which is what it measured in, 3 millimeters lower. We measured in 35, averaged out was 35.8 on the right side in the back here. We'll see if I can feel it when I'm running, but that is something to note. And then also the squeakiness. So it's comfortable and it looks great, but there's these minor things. I'm sure they will iron out some of these issues. It's really gosh dang hard to make a good running shoe, and this has been in production for, I don't know, not production, but it's been in the works for 2 to 3 years. So I'll give them a pass for some of these issues. Let's just see how it runs. So plan for this run, I already told you, 22 miles. You got the threshold sandwich in there. This is going to be a grinder. Let's do it. Can you hear that, man? Yeah, that's weird. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Woo! It's chilly out here, man. Holy cow. This is nice. This is pleasant. All right, early overreaction here. Tracksmith Eliot Racer. Also, I am freezing. I didn't realize it was gonna be this cold. This is very comfortable. Comfortable, pleasant shoe. Top layer has some nice impact absorption and squish. It's not harsh or punishing at all. Reminds me a ton of that Cloudboom Strike. And as I'm picking it up here, very similar to the Cloudboom Strike. I feel that explosive bounce off the forefoot. So maybe some minor issues with the build quality. But the ride so far is sweet. No squeaking too. Yeah, so far this feels how a lot of people thought the Eliot Runner, the daily trainer, was gonna feel. Comfortable, soft, bouncy, good cushion. That one was a very traditional feeling daily trainer. Wasn't soft at all, 10mm drop. This feels way more modern. This is really good, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be racing in this. Similar to the Cloudboom because of the softness, but man, the comfort is so good. This is a banger. This is a banger. We'll see how it can hold up for the threshold pace, but half a mile in here, complete banger. I'm getting my gloves. My fingers feel like they're gonna fall off. All right, back in action. Man, this thing is so good. These are so good. Yeah, super comfortable, man. This could be a good Cielo replacement because it's also decently stable. All right, mile one, I didn't check, but I think it was around 7:15. These are really bouncy. This is like a Cloudboom Strike with a better upper. But the feel is so similar. If you blindfolded me and tied both of them, I don't think I'd be able to tell which is which. Other than that, the Tracksmith is 3mm lower on the right side. But yeah, my main question now is just gonna be, or two, how does this hold up for a full 22 piece? And then can it sing when we start cranking up 530s? I'm putting down force. Because it is soft. This top layer is soft. What's nice is that the bottom layer is not. You have the plate and then a firmer bottom layer. So it's the best of both worlds. Great dual foam execution here. All right, I'm gonna start dialing up some strides. Yeah, speaking of the Cielo, feels like this is what the Cielo 2 wanted to do. I'm throwing down some strides and it's feeling lovely. Absolutely lovely. There's no mushiness when going fast. Soft but not mushy. That's the issue with a lot of these softer shoes, man. And that Cielo, it wasn't even super soft, but it just turned to mush in the midfoot. This, I can really crank it up, and it's giving me some juice back. Yeah, that was 4:59 pace for that stride. This is a banger. This is a banger. Not even at mile 2 here. All right, about to hit mile 2, so we've got 4 miles of threshold. I don't need a focus to hit these paces, so we'll see you on the other side. Here we go. Don't get dropped. Fight back. Fight back. Fight on the flats. Bro, I'm hurting. That took everything I had. Yeah, I didn't know how I was gonna feel this morning. Coming off of last week's 22-mile workout, which had 14, average 5:43 pace. Basically, I think that was a half marathon PR. Ran it on the treadmill, but I still felt wiped the next day. And then Thursday, another workout that resulted in a half marathon PR. Throwing down threshold effort in the 5:20s and 5:30s. So I've had 2 monster workouts in the past week. I am feeling it for sure. But that's how we get stronger. For me right now, at this phase of training, I have the privilege of burying myself in the pain and just holding it there and fighting. So I went 5:32, no, 5:33, 5:38, 5:50, and then 5:32. But I'm proud of that. That 5:50 was up a hill. I was losing focus mentally, and instead of quitting, which I've done in the past, mentally quitting and just throwing down a 6:10, I fought back and put down a 5:32. So this is going to be a mental toughness workout. but I'm not too far off. I said I wanted to average around 535, and I was basically bang on that last set. So now we get 10 relaxed miles, and then we got to do this all over again. Yeah, the fatigue is crazy right now. I can't believe I pulled a 532 out on that last mile. This is what I call a Hail Mary workout. Just stay in the game, give it our best shot. I'm gonna take my first gel, by the way. I'm gonna do the apple crumble. Shoes, by the way, going up this huge hill, and the sun's in my eyes. These shoes are fantastic. I still feel like the right side is lower. I'm gonna measure the insole. I realized I never did an insole stack comparison. I have a feeling that's what it is. Other than that, these are fantastic, man. They don't have the same bite as a Puma or an Alpha Fly when it comes to me throwing down my absolute top end aerobic paces. It doesn't have the same bite, but the comfort is just 11 out of 10. For real, the comfort here is insane. And the nice thing is that it's not too stacked. That was my issue with the SC Elite V4 last year. It's comfortable, but it just felt like too much foam. This is still nice and streamlined. I think I'm gonna cherry pick some flats when we get to the set in the back half. The hills were just crushing me. Yeah, that first relaxed mile, 8:33. On a good day, I could run this relaxed portion at 6:50, but I don't have that juice this morning. So I'll just take the time on feet and then throw up that Hail Mary when we get to the end. So much of marathon training is just staying in the fight. That's why I love it. It's the ultimate consistency battle. Show up and get to work. Go as hard as you can without tipping over into that red line. Recover and then do it again 2-3 times a week. That's really it. Man, the comfort here is just great. These are so pleasant to run in. At mile 9 here. If you like a soft but bouncy platform, you're gonna love this. I think the issue though is the Cloudboom, and these are just so similar. I almost think this is a slightly worse Cloudboom. But just slightly. And then the upper on this is better. I don't really care about an upper, but I know some people with their tender feet do. But as of now, I'm thinking Cloudboom takes the edge for the midsole, this for the upper. Also, nice thing here, this is one of those shoes with the geometry. I can tell it's gonna work for a lot of people. I can land on the back, I can land on the middle, I can land on the front. There's no weirdness at all. They nailed this thing. They really nailed it. This is the Adios Pro 4 she told you not to worry about. My feeling was weird on this run because I usually take a gel at mile 4, but we did the 2-mile warm-up into 4 at threshold, which means we ended at 6. So I missed that gel, so I'm gonna do the second gel now. Mile 10 and change. It's Banafi time. Banafi. What could you possibly have going on that you need a Rottweiler with an 84-inch vertical to protect your house? They also got 2 old jet skis that don't look like they run anymore. Is that type of a vibe? Those are the kids cheering me on. And here's the other thing with marathon training and the workouts. If you can crush 1 out of every 2, that is amazing. That's an A+++. If you get 1 out of every 3, just smoking them, that's really good. We just need average performance. You really just need a B+, A- throughout an entire block. So if I can hit all my threshold workouts 5:40 or faster at this stage of the block, that's exactly where I need to be. The fact that I was putting down 5:20s on Wednesday, that's a bonus. That's some extra fitness in the bank. Mile 13. These are definitely half marathon certified. I'm gonna take another gel here, Morton non-caffeinated. Mile 15 and a half here. Almost time to see if I can pull a rabbit out of the hat with this one. But yeah, I was gonna say there was no plate feel on the first set, which is nice. I've had that issue with these softer shoes, feeling that carbon coming through in the front when I'm running fast. Not here. Gloves are coming off. Probably the people who called the cops on me. All right, man. Mile 16. Trust the mileage, let it fly. Let's go. Woo! All right, so I went 5:53, 5:48. On the 5:53, I got attacked or chased by that dog, and I didn't pause my watch, so that was probably closer to a 5:30 something. And the 5:48, I was just giving it everything I had. Can't catch a break this week, but guess what? That's life. And now we have 2 minutes of recovery. right, let's go. Well, that was terrible. Complete fail on that last set. Dang, 5:51, 6:01. Trash. Some days the best we can muster up just is not good enough to hit the splits as they're prescribed on paper, but workouts are not run on paper. It's hard to maintain a positive attitude after failing so hard on a workout like that. And I can make excuses. Oh, I've done tough workouts, I got chased by a dog. Reality is, if I were in 230 shape, I would be able to hit that workout, but I'm not. That tells me I'm likely right now in about 237 shape. So we got work to do. Man, I'm way too harsh on myself sometimes. I gotta work on that. Charlie and my mom always tell me that. 3 positive things, man. Another 20-mile long run. I'm almost at 21 miles here. Another positive is that I was stringing together some good 5:30s there in the beginning. And it's a beautiful day. I'm also jogging this out at a 9-minute pace right now, which tells me the reason I failed that workout is leg power, not strength. I have the strength, but my power meter was low going into this run today. I can feel it whenever my lower back has this fatigue. I know I need a few extra days of recovery. And I said to Charlie yesterday when we were walking around the neighborhood here, I wish I could take one more day of recovery, which I did during the week. I pushed my workout to Thursday, but I can't push my long run to Monday. So that's what happens, man. We can't do better than our best. And I know I'm out here spraying around a lot of platitudes, aphorisms, and sayings, but guess what? After mileage and carbs, the third member of the Holy Trinity of things that we know work is positive self-talk. We gotta boss ourselves up. Those are really the only 3 proven things. Consistent mileage over time, fueling well, keeping our head in the game, and turning ourselves into a savage. Oh, by the way, mile 21, comfort here is unreal. These things are just a dream for long runs. Incredible. Bro, I am completely blasted. Ended up going 23, 7:13 pace, 2 hours, 45 minutes, 52 seconds. I didn't realize I overshot the last loop, so I could have come back and got 22 and a half or just done 3 extra minutes of jogging and get 23. So that's what I got, 23. That's not bad. We have to celebrate these consistency wins. But man, I'm telling you, it is so hard. I'll just speak for myself. It's so hard for me to hold myself to a high standard and be kind to myself and not get frustrated when I miss on workouts, even if I know logically, rationally, looking at my last few weeks of training, there's reasons for it. But that's the reality of wanting to get better. At least for me, I have to push myself. So when I come up short, it stinks. And no, I'm not an Olympian. I'm not even close. I'm not a professional, but it doesn't really matter. It's not about the running. It's about the progression and the self-improvement and doing what we set out to do and hitting our goals. It does not matter the paces. I felt the same when I was running a 3:19 marathon as I do now, and I'm trying to train for a sub 2:30. It's all about getting better, but we have to be kind to ourselves when we miss and realize it's not even a miss. And if we're healthy and consistent, that's the biggest thing. So turn the page, recover hard, and then we'll get back out here again Wednesday or Thursday trying to destroy another big workout. You guys heard of Belly Gang Cushington? He's a rapper, up-and-coming rapper. He has lots of great songs. He's from Atlanta. But he went viral recently. I actually discovered him before he went viral. He's done a few things to go viral. One thing he did was pulling out 75 on 75. So he pulled out $75,000 and took a picture. Was it 100 or 1,000? I think $7,500 and took a picture with it on 75 in Atlanta. The other thing is, that was last year. This year, he's wearing a new pair of white Air Forces every 3 hours. So you can look him up, Belly Gang Cushington. He's actually a really talented artist, and he has lots of great songs. So he went viral for wearing a new pair of Air Forces every 3 hours. And they say I encourage consumerism. But here's the thing. This is what I wanted to say. I was thinking about that out here. Anytime I give a good review of a shoe now, I want to do this disclaimer. The reason I test 3, 4, 5 new shoes, it's the Wall Street Journal. We got to put this in here. It's blowing everywhere. Who paid how much for the Boston Celtics? Yeah, $6.1 billion. That's crazy. William Chisholm. Talk about successful business. The reason I have all these new shoes is because this is a business operation. I really want to say this so that everybody understands, and a lot of people do understand this, but you don't need 100 shoes to run. You need a few good shoes. If you want to buy a bunch of shoes and you can financially afford it, then go ahead. I don't know, I just feel like I need to do this disclaimer sometimes because people say I encourage excessive consumption. My goal is to test these shoes and review all the shoes on the market. It started as a hobby, it's now a business, it's fun for me. Anyway, Tracksmith Eliot Racer. This is a good to great shoe. Let's throw up today's run, 23 miles. Goal was 2 miles at a relaxed pace, 4 miles at threshold, 10 miles at a relaxed pace, and then 2x2 at threshold. My threshold pace right now, with the goal of running a 2:30 or 2:29 marathon, should be 5:29. It should be lower than a 5:33, right around that range. If I could get down to the 5:20s, that's great. Anything below 5:35 would have been an A to A plus for this workout. I would have been happy with anything in the 5:30s. First set, I was able to hit that. I was clipping off 5:32, 5:39. I had to hit the hill there, 5:50, 5:32. Then I completely fell apart in the back half. I actually got, if you did not skip to the end, you saw I got chased by a fully grown pit bull on the first mile of that thing, and I didn't stop my watch, so I likely would have hit 5:30. I would have been on target for that, but I just did not have any juice in my legs this morning. No power whatsoever. I've done a lot of tough workouts, just stacking them up, and this is my style of marathon training. I love the cumulative fatigue style where we just keep piling on these tough workouts, recover, take a few days recovery, and then pile on a tough workout, stack them back to back, see how much mustard we can keep on that dog. And this morning, the mustard was slipping off, even though I got mustard on my shirt. Mustard on my shirt, bro. But yeah, I called this workout the Hail Mary. If you're not familiar with what a Hail Mary is, a Hail Mary in American football is at the last second of the game. If you're down by 7 or even 8 or fewer points, the quarterback will take the ball, they'll drop back, the line will try to give the quarterback as much time as possible. All the receivers will run down the field to the end zone. The quarterback will just heave the ball as hard as he can. And sometimes they'll even bring in the backup quarterback, whoever has the strongest arm. They'll bring that guy into the game to just chuck the ball down the field. And if you're down by 8 points and you catch it, you can get a touchdown and then go for the 2-point conversion. You can even win the game if you're only down by 4 or 5 points. There was a great Hail Mary Jaden Daniels did this last season. Legendary Hail Mary where it worked. This is the Hail Mary because you just got to fight to get to the end of the game and then throw up as best pace as I could. I did not have it in me. There was not a lot of juice. Basically a pick six. A pick six is when the other team catches it and returns it. They pick it an interception for the touchdown. All right, that's your American football lesson. Tracksmith Eliot Racer. My initial impression of this right out of the gates here held up pretty well. It is impressively comfortable. That is the key quality of the shoe. Every great, even good marathon shoe has one transcendent quality. Every shoe that I would consider putting on a best of list has a transcendent quality. Sometimes it can be versatility. Other times it could be durability or grip. Other times it could be speed. This is not a top 5 fastest marathon shoe. It's not even close. It might not even be a top 7 or 8 fastest marathon shoe, but it is a top 5 or potentially top 3 comfortable marathon shoe. What they've done with the insole here is not a gimmick. Let me repeat that. What they have done with the insole is not a gimmick. It really works. It's the same thing as the On Cloudboom Strike, having this softer top layer. I don't know what it is that's so different from having the standard insole and then a softer top layer of foam, but something about having the insole combined with the top layer of foam right on top of the plate really works, because this is so similar in spirit to the On Cloudboom Strike and in feel that it has to be what they do with the top layer here. So having that thicker layer of nice soft race foam on the top provides an amazing step-in feel, and a lot of the time I can tell right away with the comfort on the step-in feel, how is this gonna be? And lacing this up, this upper is great, it fits amazing. Now the one weird thing with the upper, I showed this in the fit and feel section, you can see again, there is some stitching, quality stitching issue right here on the left one. The right one is absolutely perfect and dialed in. The other thing though that I should note is when I got my first pair of Eliot runners that I bought, there was another issue with it where it was actually missing a hole. One of these holes up here was missing, and I told Tracksmith that, not the PR people. It didn't even review. That was my first review. I emailed the customer service and they sent me a brand new pair. So I do think if there are any minor quality issues that come up like that, where this threading comes undone, I'm sure they'll have a really good return policy. So that outweighs any of the concerns I have with the quality. The other thing was I did feel that the right side was lower down, and it was measured in at the lab 3 to 4 millimeters lower, which is significant. That's near roughly 10% lower, right, on this side. And I could feel that it was thinner at the beginning. As I got into that run, all I could think about was keeping the mustard on the dog, so it wasn't a huge deal. But step-in was comfortable, warm-up was comfortable. As I got into that first set, that's where I started feeling out the shoe. I was able to hit a 535 on that first one. I was pushing pretty good, and you can push hard in this shoe. I'm not fighting against the foam, but it's also not giving me that extra 3 to 5% that I get out of a Puma DV8 Nitro Elite 3, that I get out of a Nike Alphafly, or that I get out of a Metaspeed Sky Paris. Those would be my top 3 fastest race shoes right now. Maybe I'll do a top 5 list of fastest race shoes, but those would be for the marathon segment, the ones that feel the fastest to me. They all have a bite to them, and I did this breakdown a few weeks ago. 3 categories of race shoes. There's really only 3 categories of race shoes out there. You got the cruisers, the bruisers, and the losers. The losers, everyone can have their different picks of losers. For me, that's the Adios Pro 4. I don't think there's even very many other shoes that are losers. And the reason that's a loser, it's not even the softness of the foam, it's the terrible heel cutout they did that serves no purpose other than to save weight. You got the bruisers, those are the aggressive shoes that you really got to activate with power. Hoka Rocket X2, Metaspeed Sky Paris, the DV8 Nitro Elite 3, the Alphafly 3, those are the ones that you really rip in. And then you got the cruisers, Cloudboom Strike, more comfort-oriented shoes, New Balance SC Elite V4, and this guy. This is a true cruiser. The comfort is an 11 out of 10. Step-in feel is great. I went 23 miles today, and by the end of that run, even though I wasn't able to dial up the pace and the shoe wasn't giving me any speed assistance to hit the pace, it also wasn't hurting. And it's one of those weird things where we often think of workhorse shoes as these stripped down standard basic shoes. This is the farthest from that, but it is similar to a workhorse in that it's not going to give you that much more than what you put into it in terms of the speed assistance. It is a fast shoe, it is a bouncy shoe compared to a daily trainer, but it doesn't have the most aggressive rocker. It doesn't have that bite in the forefoot that I look for, but it does have the comfort. And that's what made it an awesome shoe out here today. 2 hours and 45 minutes worth of running, and my legs feel destroyed because I've been putting myself through the absolute meat grinder recently with these workouts. But the protection here was really good. And that's another unique thing that this shoe does. It has this soft top layer of foam, right? But it doesn't feel super max stack. It's not like the Cielo or the New Balance SC Elite V4 or even the Super Blast, where they're these comfortable shoes that you can run 4-hour marathons in, but they just have a lot of foam. This feels more streamlined, but is still comfortable. That's nice. So if you don't like a lot of stack, but you want a comfortable shoe, this could be it. So with that, let's go through our 3 questions before we close it out that we always answer in these first run reviews. First, how does this compare to its intended purpose? Now, this is designed to be a fast marathon race shoe. They didn't actually talk a lot about the comfort on the website, and that's the thing where I haven't watched any other reviews, I haven't seen any other coverage, but I think that's what they should be dialing up in the marketing copy here. They should be talking about the cloud-like experience. They should be talking about making it easy to run. They should be talking about the amazing step-in feel, because what you're gonna get out of here, if you think about the intended purpose of a marathon shoe, is the comfort over the long distance. Similar to the Asics S4 Plus, that is another dual foam shoe, softer top layer, firmer bottom layer, that's offering a more accessible race day experience. Now this is gonna be $100 more expensive, $80 MSRP, but I paid, I think the final price when I checked my email was $300.80. And again, thank you guys for watching the channel. Thank you for supporting the business, because it's not even a question now when I see these things go on sale, bada boom, bada bang, just bang, just immediately on the phone. Let's buy it. I don't even check the price. I was gonna say who you calling, but then I don't need it. We're off that energy, okay? I'm only bringing Flyboy Spring energy in the nice yellow Carolina gold mileage crew neck. For sale on hobbyjogger.com. Yeah, $100 more expensive than the S4 Plus, but similar spirit. It's gonna be an accessible, approachable, easy to run in pick. And I did look at their website, and they had some quote there. I tried not to read anything that the people said, because they had these excerpts from different reviews, and they had one from a 353 miler. And I think that's always what these brands try to do. They try to get credibility on speed. They try to credentialize themselves with how fast their shoes are. 9 out of 10 times, if you're a new brand, you're not gonna beat the Alpha Fly. You're not gonna beat whatever Asics is cooking up with their next race shoe when it comes to speed. You're just not, but you can offer something different. And that's why Tracksmith is great, right? All of their products are well made, they look a certain way, and the aesthetic is designed to make you feel a certain way, and this is the perfect Tracksmith race shoe. Now, if they want that intended purpose to be speed, they didn't nail it for that, because it's not the fastest. If they did want this to be the fastest, they could have gone more aggressive rocker in the front, they could have dropped the weight on it, they could have made this insole here 5% firmer to give it more of that pop and the bite in the front. I don't think that's actually what they're trying to do, and I do think they nailed it with having that soft, fun, it's a very fun shoe, easy to run in platform. So they nailed it. Second question, how does it compare to the other shoes in the category? This is a soft shoe, however, not as soft as the Adios Pro 4 and not as hot mess as that. It's not a hot mess at all. And it's not as soft as a Saucony Endorphin Elite. So if you like the idea of a soft shoe, but you don't want something that's gonna be bottoming out and where you can feel the plate, this is gonna be a nice choice. This and the Cloudboom Strike are as soft as I would wanna go. Those are acceptably soft to me. Now, I would not personally run a marathon PR attempt in this, but I would use it again for a 20-mile long run. I'm definitely gonna be putting more, even everyday miles on this any day where I want a fun, faster daily shoe. This is gonna be great, but it's not as soft and squishy as the Adios Pro 4 and the Endorphin Elite, so you don't have to worry about it. However, for some people, I do think this is going to be too soft if you found shoes like the Cloudboom Strike too soft. If you found shoes like the Nova Blast 5 too soft. There's actually a growing segment of people I've heard saying the Nova Blast 5 is too soft. If you think that's too soft, this is definitely gonna be too soft. This is, let me think, softer than the Nova Blast 5, Not as soft as the Neo Zen. The top layer is close though. Probably as soft as the Glide Ride Max. It is definitely a soft shoe. If you step in it, you are gonna think soft. No matter what your reference point is, stepping in it is going to feel soft. Running is gonna feel soft. Very similar to the Cloudboom Strike. So that's the biggest comp to me when I'm thinking about other shoes on the market in the category. It feels so similar to that shoe, and I haven't run in that in 1 or 2 months. My take right now is that that one has the better midsole. It's slightly faster, probably 2% faster. It has more of that bite. Hey, FedEx putting in work on a Sunday. Let's go. Are they coming for us? He pulled up that way, but he was looking at my house, so I don't know. Hey. How you doing? Good, I can take it. Take it here? Yeah. Pull up with a new pack on a Sunday. Let's go. I don't even know what that is. I really don't. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I know what it is. New overpriced daily trainer that I ordered. And again, overpriced daily trainer, that's okay. Just buy it. I don't need a brand to send it to me. Thank you guys. Cloudboom Strike, that after running in this, if I had to choose one for a marathon PR attempt or I'm gonna do another hard workout, I would go for the Cloudboom Strike. But the comfort is here. This had less of the squeaking. That was a concern when we were up there. Less of the squeaking in this. The upper is so dialed in, man. This is a great upper. It feels as good as it looks. It just gets out of the way, lets you run. It's a banger, man, and lots of good rubber coverage. So with that, a comfortable shoe, I also want it to be durable for training because it's comfortable. You want to put a lot of miles on it, right? I have a feeling this is going to hold up pretty well with this rubber coverage. Again, only the miles can tell, and I'm personally not going to be able to put 100 miles on it out of the box. So make sure you're on the Supwell app to get other people's reviews. But my hunch is that this is going to be fairly durable. Plus, they have those replacement insoles coming later this year. That's what someone told me. I don't know how expensive they're gonna be, but if you actually care about extending the life of your shoes and you're not a sicko who has 23 pairs, then that could be a fun thing. So question number 3, how does this compare to everything else on the market? That's where we have to bring in the price, $280. So there's a lot of gosh dang expensive shoes out there, man. The Under Armour Speedland collab was $280. There's a bunch of overpriced training shoes that are in the $200. So $280, if we're thinking about without even running in this, without even seeing it. If someone told me Tracksmith race shoe, $280 feels completely fair, completely fine. They're a smaller brand, they're a niche brand, $30 price premium, and that's barely even a price premium now because a lot of brands are pricing their top tier shoes like Nike and Hoka at that $275 to $285 range. That's bang on. Roughly same price as the Cielo, same price as the Alphafly, and exact same price as the Cloudboom Strike. So on paper, the value is there. However, to me, this does ride more like a top tier long run shoe than a fast race shoe. This does not have the same horsepower as a Nike Alphafly. It doesn't even have the same horsepower as either of the ASICS shoes. So maybe the fair price is $240, but then you say, okay, if it's the Tracksmith training shoe, you're gonna add a price premium anyway. So $280 feels fair. You just have to think about what you're getting in this package, which is an extremely comfortable shoe, nice fitting upper, beautifully soft and bouncy ride. If that's what you like, then it's gonna be good. Nice rocker. It's gonna work well for a variety of foot strikes. And that's the thing, a lot of the times as we're going up in price, we're not actually getting more versatility. Oftentimes we're getting more specialization. So the more expensive a shoe you're getting, the $200, $300 shoes, those are more specialized shoes, whether it's Super Max Stack or whether it's the ultimate in speed, like the Alphafly 3. That is a very specialized shoe. That's a marathon race shoe. This has a lot more range than the Alphafly 3. That might have better speed, but I would use this for a wider variety of runs. I would take this out for some nice recovery miles. I would take this out for a 15-mile medium long run where I don't have any pace pickups in there. I would take this out for a 22-mile double day. This is a really good shoe. So 280 feels fair for what it is, especially if you're gonna actually train in it. And here's the other thing, these modern race shoes, especially with the new TPU foams, TPU is a very durable compound, they last a long time. So if you actually train in your race shoes and you can put a lot of miles on them before race day, you'll get good value per mile. Or if you're gonna have an Alpha Fly and you train in this, do your long runs in this, this can certainly handle marathon pace. It's not gonna give you as much back, but it can handle it. Then this is also a good deal. So 280 feels fair to me. It's just, do you want a soft ride? Do you want a nice soft and bouncy ride? Do you want something that feels more streamlined than the Cielos and the SC Elite V4s of the world? And do you want to take a flyer on a newer brand? Now, that's the last question mark of this. They are a newer brand when it comes to footwear, but they've been cranking out those Eliot runners. I can verify that was a really well-made, durable shoe. They have great customer service, and again, there's some minor issues on my pair, but I think if I were to email the customer service and ask for a new pair, I would probably be able to get it. So I wouldn't be worried about that. First run here, I can't say it's a Supwell certified shoe, but I can say it's a banger out of the box for a 23 miler, and I would be more than happy to put a 23 miler on it again or do another long run again. If I were training for another ultra, this would be the type of shoe that I would be thrilled to run a 30-mile long run in during training. So that's the type of shoe this is. Great comfort, great for going long. Not the fastest option, but not every shoe has to be the fastest option. All right, I'm getting played out by the lawnmowers. Dogs can't stop me, cops can't stop me, and the gosh dang lawnmowers can't stop me. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
That's not gonna get you anything.
Roni, what are you doing?
You're thirsty?
All right, so one more thing. This is the extremely late lunch. I haven't eaten anything since I stopped, which is not good, and it's 12:30, but homemade sourdough naan with the tabbouleh rice and the chickpea fritters, aka falafel. That's what people call them in America. Chickpea fritters. It's the falafel. It's fire. With, oh, you know what I did? The local raw honey on top. That's the secret sauce.
Local raw honey is Barefoot Mafia.
Bang. No, it's not. Local raw honey is Max Christian Game.
Yeah, honey. It's like strawberry.
Bang. Strawberry Dream recovery drink from Charles. It's got some ice cream, strawberries, oat milk. Special. Real special. One sip, everybody knows the rules. No, it's good. It definitely tastes healthy, but it's good. Healthy is not bad. It's fire.